Wednesday, everybody. It is Mix at 3, and thank you for joining us.
And welcome to our living room.
It's small,
Yes.
but it's clean. And yeah, we always keep everything symmetric too, or at least we try. That's for our friend Chris Fisher. Hope you're doing well. It is a hump day. Hopefully it's a short work week for you. That just means you're probably working a little extra hard to get done by the end of the week.
Yeah, I know when I went to the gym this morning,
Well, that's not the type of work I meant, but yes.
No, but I was telling them, okay, so I had a graduation party last night. So I said, yeah, it's odd to have a party on a Tuesday. And they go, oh, yeah, that's right. Today is Wednesday.
Yeah,
so they thought it was Monday, like the party happened on Monday. I said, no, it happened on Tuesdays.
I don't feel as bad now when I say that because there are people that are right by me going, oh, yeah, you're right. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we're attached. I got 2 watches on right now, and I still can't figure out the date. Before you went to your graduation party, you and I checked out the ribbon cutting, the grand opening of the Bell Auditorium.
The new Bell.
The new Bell.
Guys, all we can say is,
wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Very, very cool. And I swear, if you would have dropped a bomb in the auditorium yesterday afternoon, you probably would have taken out most of the media here in this area. There were a lot of people on hand to be witness to the ribbon cutting, but amazing upgrades and developments that they've done at the Bell. We showed you a while ago a walkthrough that we did a few months ago with Joe Kinsey, the general manager with McKnight Construction. He was there yesterday.
He was.
Got to talk to him. So you'll get a nice little sneak peek before Friday night's very first show at the Bell. We're going to be showing you that tomorrow. Definitely want to tune in.
Don't miss tomorrow's show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tune in for that.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get moved on in here and to see what's trending right now. You brought this up, and this was a really good thing. There are a lot of Americans believe they're not prepared to help somebody in an emergency, right? So there's a new poll from Ohio State that finds only 51% of adults say they would be able to perform hands-only CPR. 49% say someone who is seriously bleeding, and 56% say can stop someone from choking. That's just the number of people that they say they think they could help.
Right. So according to the American Heart Association, immediate CPR for someone in cardiac arrest can double or triple their odds of survival.
Yeah. You know, we had classes here at the station.
Okay. So I have a confession to make.
Yes.
I can't do this. So I'm in this percentage there in the poll.
No, but hey, you're not alone, obviously.
Right. Exactly. So I cannot. So another confession. So when I travel, you guys know the emergency rows, and they ask us like, who cannot, in case of an emergency, if you can't perform or can help, please, let's change.
Do you just sit there?
That happened to me once. So I was flying, I swear, I was flying to Vegas with my husband, and we happened to sit on the emergency seats, and of course we have more leg room, all good, and then they came and asked us, and I said, no, I can't. So they made us change.
Oh, so you did say that you couldn't do it?
Yeah, I said I couldn't.
I thought you lied. Oh,
no,
okay.
no, I said I couldn't. So they changed us.
I was going to give you grace. I was like, well, everybody's done that before. Don't worry about it.
I'm going to say the truth.
Good for you.
Yes.
Now go learn CPR, right?
Oh, no, I'll let the ones who can do it. All right, so moving to ice cream. So chocolate chip ice cream, once beloved, now could soon become obsolete.
How dare you?
I know, it didn't even crack the top 5 flavors favored by consumers, falling to 8th place in a list of America's favorite ice cream, according to the International Dairy Association.
So just 2 years ago, chocolate chip ranked 5th among consumers. Sales have slowed, actually. Those with a sweet tooth, they're gravitating towards the extravagant flavors now. Those like the funky chunks or the gooey swirls or the buzzy names. And to be very honest, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
But it's still chocolate chip ice cream. It's chocolate chips. It's chocolate chips.
I know. I agree with you.
It's a chocolate chip cookie and ice cream. I mean, why would you not want that? I mean, you know, and I'll go, it's like you may get the occasional hot fudge sundae or something, or the butter pecan praline.
I would
like
totally eat a chocolate chip ice cream, but yeah.
But chocolate chip.
I know.
It's a chocolate chip.
And my husband, he agrees with that one. Like the oddest names, he said, "Oh, I'm gonna pick that one because that sounds good." That's the one he would be willing to try.
Something tells me he didn't try ranch ice cream.
He did not.
Okay,
But like
well then.
Roadhouse, raspberry, something.
Oh, the
you know,
Rocky Roadhouse and all that other Ben and Jerry type stuff.
yeah, those kinds of names. Yeah.
Yeah.
He like.
Well, don't worry, chocolate chip.
I
got you.
know.
We're good on that.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Speaking of chocolate chips and all the stuff that you get in some ice creams here, peanut butter is a big thing.
Yep.
You get that in a lot of things, but a lot of people can't have it. Well, there's a new study suggesting that peanut butter during infancy, giving it to infants, that actually might help protect against a peanut allergy during adolescence. I've heard this before.
Yeah.
British researchers looked at data from 500 children who participated as babies in a peanut allergy study. Now, they found about 15% of those who originally avoided peanuts as babies, well, they had a peanut allergy when they were around 12 years old. But about the ones that originally consumed peanuts as kids, that dropped to about 4% of those that had the allergies.
Interesting. So the study authors say that it represents a 71% reduced risk of developing a peanut allergy. Although this study is new, it reinforces the guidance from experts. So in 2008, the American Academy of Pediatrics stopped recommending parents delay introducing peanuts until their child is 3 years old.
They actually updated its guidance back in 2019 to say there's actually evidence that early introduction of peanuts may prevent a peanut allergy, but they say parents should always, and we always agree with this, talk to your child's pediatrician before introducing any kind of new food, and that, yes, that does include peanuts. Now, I've been a peanut butter and jelly fan since I can remember. I have no idea if I had a peanut allergy before. Pretty sure I didn't. But it is interesting. It's interesting that you can wean yourself off of an allergy.
Yeah.
Or you never were allergic to one thing at some point in time, and then suddenly you develop the allergic reaction.
Yeah.
I've always heard that people change their body chemistry about every 7 to 10 years.
Yeah.
It's like a cycle.
You know what is interesting? After I moved here to the United States, I didn't know peanut allergies was a thing because we rarely hear that in Brazil. Like, I don't see people having allergies here, like peanut allergies.
And they love their peanuts in Brazil.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's...
I was immune to poison oak and poison ivy till I turned 40. And then it was like, happy birthday, you will now be a big hive. So I guess that's what it is. Hey, coming up here on Mix It 3, it's World Digestive Health Day. And we're going to be talking about how a healthy gut microbiome can lead to overall better health. That's next here on Mix It 3. A new campaign is highlighting the similarities between endangered ecosystems on Earth and the endangered ecosystem in your belly. That's right, the human gut microbiome.
That's right. I had the chance to speak earlier with Robin Moore, the Vice President of Communications and Marketing at Rewild, who talked about the importance of gut health.
Robin Moore, thank you so much for speaking with me today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So why is it so important for us to be protecting biodiversity in our ecosystems?
Yeah, great question. So biodiversity, it's a complex topic, but it's essentially the fabric of life on our planet. It's the diversity and abundance of life, and it's what drives our ecosystems. And the ecosystems are what sustain us. So they're our first line of defense against emerging disease, climate chaos. I mean, they provide everything from clean air, fresh water, to our food and medicines. But we know that, we're losing biodiversity. Since 1970, we've lost almost 70% of wildlife populations. And at Rewild, we believe that healthy people need a healthy planet. So protecting and restoring the fabric of life and our only shared home is at the heart of everything that we do.
Awesome. And what do these endangered ecosystems have to do with our gut microbiome?
A great question, and a question that I had a couple of months ago. But when cultural probiotics came to us to highlight some of the interesting parallels, I was struck by some of the similarities. So the gut microbiome is made up of trillions of living, breathing bacteria, bacterial species, and it's also facing a loss of biodiversity. So data shows that nearly half of its microbial biodiversity has been lost in the last 70 years. So when we consider the facts, we realize that the microbiome has a lot of the same markers as the Amazon rainforest, the coral reefs, the grasslands of our world, and the gut is itself an ecosystem, and it's at risk. So at Rewild, we also say, rewilding the world starts with rewilding ourselves, connecting with the wild within us and around us.
And what can you tell us about the new Protect the Gut Microbiome campaign?
Yeah, so we've teamed up with Cultural Probiotics to really raise awareness of the similarities between the at-risk ecosystems of our world and the ecosystems within. So just like many of Earth's biomes, the forests, the oceans, the grasslands, the human gut microbiome is vulnerable and similar to the ecosystems of the world that Rewild works to protect and restore. The gut is faced with a barrage of threats to its biodiversity. So together, we're using the Protect the Gut Microbiome campaign to raise awareness of the importance of protecting biodiversity in all ecosystems, both inside and out. Because we believe that in order to take care of the planet, we need to take care of ourselves.
That's for sure. And can you share what happens when we do not properly care for our critical ecosystems, both inside and out?
Yeah, I mean, we see the repercussions when we don't take care of ecosystems. We know ecosystems like the Amazon are approaching sort of dangerous tipping points. And when we lose biodiversity and we lose these sort of critical ecosystems, we have higher risk of infectious outbreaks. We have decreasing availability of fresh water and food, and just an increased threat of harm from catastrophic climate events, floods, droughts, earthquakes. We know that human resilience to the changes in our Earth's ecosystems hinges on the richness of biodiversity. And we sometimes refer to biodiversity as the immune system of our planet. And that's why the mission of this campaign is so pivotal, I think, because we are part of, not separate from, the ecosystems that sustain us. And healthy ecosystems are diverse ecosystems. And we also know that, just as we have the capacity to wipe out biodiversity, we do have the capacity to protect and restore it. And I have seen with my own eyes through my work with Rewild what happens when you restore the biodiversity. You can bring back the functioning of ecosystems. So it really is possible to restore balance to the ecosystems, including those within our gut.
Yeah, inside and out. I like that. And Robin, where can people go for more information?
Yeah, so people can go to protectthegut.com for more information.
There we go. Robin Moore, thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, coming up here on Mix It 3, how low is too low? After the break, we're going to show you that a good squat needs depth. That's next on our Workout Wednesday segment. Don't go anywhere. One of the most common questions surrounding how to perform squats properly is, well, how deep should you squat? Knowing how low to squat or how deep to squat, that will help ensure that your squat workouts are effective and safe without posing an increased risk of injury to your knees, your back, your hips, or ankles, and we all don't want that.
Yeah, so the question is, how low can you safely squat? That's what Dr. Jed Ballard showed us in the gym. Check this out.
All right, well, you know where we are, and we are here with Dr. Jed back in the gym here. Right now, Jed, we're going to be talking about mobility, and you're talking about the distance between portions of your leg and how low you can go.
Correct, yeah. Specifically talking about squats, because squats, social media era fitness and whatnot, squats are a very huge thing that every girl and boy wants in their routine right now, trying to get that booty right, all that stuff. But everyone's built a little bit different.
Right.
And there's a few factors that contribute to how low you can safely squat or how low you should squat. And there's kind of advantages to low squats and advantages to staying a little bit higher. So we're just going to talk a little bit about all that and then help our viewers and us figure out where our squats should land.
Okay.
Sound good?
Sounds good, yeah.
Perfect. So number one, we have to talk about femur to lower leg length. Everyone has a different ratio of their femur length to the lower leg, and that's going to affect You see some people, they're coming down and they're super low and their body's very upright. And you see other people to get low, they're coming and they're really coming forward like that. Right. And that's just a simple matter of mechanics. There's not really a good or a bad on that, as long as you're keeping your spine in that kind of neutral arch. So as long as your spine is coming up, your core's real tight like this, so when you come down, that looks good. It's totally fine to be back up a little bit or forward like that. It's just what feels natural to you on that.
Is there a point where you're doing this position and you're gonna know where you're not doing it correctly?
Yeah, one of the big things on that, they call it the butt wink, and I'll kind of show you here, but essentially you can keep that neutral spine to a certain degree, and then once you surpass where you can actually go with your mobility, what'll happen is your tailbone will kind of curl under. So what I mean by that, I'll be here, and you're coming down, my back's at this nice, tight, safe spot. But as I go lower, if you watch my tailbone, it starts to curl. And I'm old, so my knees also a little bit.
That wasn't me this time.
Yeah. But as your tailbone curls like that, then you're just putting yourself at unnecessary risk. L4, L5 is where everyone comes in with back problems. It takes the brunt of the weight of your spine. Right. And there's just no reason to put that compression on when you're training to ideally make your life better, right? Yeah. As you know, injuries are a huge setback.
Yes, they take time. So, Dr. Jed, what are some good exercises that you can actually go low?
Yeah, so kind of with strength and mobility, and that's kind of the trade-off. So the more weight you have on, the more cautious you should be about going really low or pushing your range of motion. So that's why both a short range of motion and a big range of motion actually have value. So one way to do it, you got your bars or however you're holding it, but you just stop yourself at about 90 degrees. So for me, that's about 90 degrees right here. It's not parallel yet, but it's about a 90-degree angle. Advantage to this, super safe on the knee joints, and you can move a lot of weight. So you're here, it's a safe thing. You can use a little bench if you want, but you just stop there, come back up. Disadvantage, you're not getting as much butt work with it. You're keeping it mostly on the quads. As you come down past, you're going down in parallel. Now you're getting really good butt work, quad work, but you're not gonna be able to use as much weight as that 90 degrees. And you're at slightly more risk of kind of knocking yourself out of proper form and whatnot. And then as far as that super, butt to grass, that, unless you're kind of actually doing some sort of lifting that requires that, so you're an Olympic lifter, you're a competitive CrossFitter, etc. In my head, it's not really worth the risk to get that super, you're just way down here, unless you are doing something in life where you need to. Because with that extreme range of motion, you're putting a lot more stress on your joints in relation to the amount of weight you can move.
So the key thing to remember is form is key.
Absolutely key.
Start with low weight or no weight if that's the case. Right.
Correct.
And always pay attention to your back, like if you're arching or if you're keeping it spine neutral.
Perfect, yeah, that neutral spine is really important. And the only time I really like those extreme range of motions are again with almost no weight, just to kind of get that mobility down. Once you're loading weight, then you're increasing the risk with going a big range of motion like that.
All right.
So just kind of accept your range of motion. It should feel good too. The body's pretty good about that. People kind of stress out about foot width, etc. It should feel natural. So if this is what feels good to you, great, you're doing a great move. If you want to go just a little bit more, but now it feels weird and strainy and you're really sore for the next 3 days, probably not great for you. You need to work into that.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Good pieces to keep in mind.
Information.
All right. Appreciate it, Dr. Jed. Thanks.
Hey, no problem.
All right, coming up next on Mix It 3, it might be the cheesiest competition you've ever witnessed. Yes, we know what we said. After the break, we'll show you folks willing to risk life and limb for a wheel of cheese. You're watching Mix It 3. We'll be right back. Get a load of this. A bizarre British tradition full of thrills and spills drew competitors from all over the world to the west of England earlier this week.
Yeah, a North Carolina graduate was among them, tumbling down a steep hill, chasing an unusual prize. So CBS Ian Lee has the story.
Oh, you go! For the love of cheese, people risk life and limb.
hurling their bodies down a famous hill in England.
And we've got several big fallers right in the middle.
For a 9-pound wheel of double Gloucester cheese.
It's been recorded at 70 miles an hour.
For centuries, these dairy-chasing daredevils have pursued the prize to claim the wheel and bragging rights. This year, 2022 champ Abby Lampy from North Carolina will fight, or rather fall, to reclaim her throne.
What's the secret to getting down this hill?
Fully committing and sending it.
Abby convinced her friend from university, Kimmy Gibbia, to give it the old college try.
Once you're here, it feels a little like when in Rome, you're here, you might as well do it.
There are 6 races with 6 chunks of cheese up for grabs.
Are you worried about getting injured at all?
No, I'm not. I heal fast. I'm only 23.
A bit cocky then.
Or maybe it's a winning attitude, because off the line, Abby tumbles with tenacity in front of a crowd of thousands and a live national audience.
But she's a clear winner if she can just keep it together.
Watching
There's no
every
one anywhere
step
near her.
slip and
Is she
fall.
gonna be okay?
And in the end, Abby proves she's the big cheese, retaining her crown.
Returning champion, how does it feel to win a second time?
It feels great. I'm so happy. Yeah.
Here, the taste of victory isn't sweet, it's savory. Ian Lee, CBS News, Gloucestershire, England.
Why?
I feel like I just watched an episode of The Three Stooges and Blazing Saddles all put together. What was that?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Are we back to medieval times? I mean,
something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's believed that the cheese rolling competition could be more than actually 2,000 years
Okay.
old. But the first ever written evidence from it is from 1826. When
But it's still-
when the competitor wrote,
why?
ow. No cheese is worth that. Hey, have yourselves a great Wednesday, everybody. You got Investigate TV Plus next.
All right, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.